Hey everyone, my name is Levi and I am a maladaptive daydreamer. Today I will be talking about the feeling of faking a mental illness, disorder, or condition, especially relating to maladaptive daydreaming. It's actually very common for people to doubt sometime in their lives whether they actually have a mental condition, and I see this online a lot as well. There are a variety of reasons as to why people might doubt the legitimacy of their feelings, and in this video I will be going over some of those reasons. Firstly, isn't it interesting how at times we wonder whether we are faking a mental condition instead of wondering whether we actually have it? We tend to put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and us as human beings tend to take other people's opinions, regardless of how ignorant those people may be concerning the topic at hand, to heart. So let's take a look at a few things that might have an effect on your thought process. Firstly, the general approach to mental health in society is unfortunately not where we want it to be. This is called stigma. Lots of communities, groups, and individuals in society still see mental health as something to be ashamed of, something to hide away, or something that makes people weak. Of course, this isn't true, but unfortunately the stigma behind mental health in society is one of the biggest reasons preventing people from seeking help or seeking treatment for their mental health conditions. Social media also plays a very big part in stigma, because we often see comments from people on certain platforms where people are arguing and then use mental health as a means to win an argument. Maybe they want to hurt someone's feelings, or maybe they just want to pin a negative characteristic to a certain person. And to do that, they oftentimes use mental health. While certain mental health problems may cause an individual to act in an unfavorable manner, a big chunk of those disorders or illnesses do not. In general, mental health is not as black and white as society makes it out to be. Secondly, relating to my first point, mental health doesn't necessarily affect people constantly. Let's look at depression, for example. People with depression may experience days where they are completely content with life, where they can get out of bed, where they can eat normally, where they can go to work, where they can shower, they can do chores. They can basically live a normal life even though they have depression. Another term for this is high functioning. Just because these people can do all of these things and they are high functioning doesn't mean that they don't have depression. But because of their high functioning form of depression, other people around them might view their depression as less of a problem. They don't seem to be affected, so why should we worry? There's this common belief in society that people with mental health problems don't get out of bed, they don't do chores, they don't shower, they don't eat perfectly, they don't go out and socialize. But the reality of the world is that a lot of people with mental health conditions do all of these things because a lot of times they don't have a choice. They have to survive. But also, that doesn't invalidate their mental conditions. Similar for maladaptive daydreamers as well. We tend to be very private about our maladaptive daydreaming. We don't necessarily talk about it or go into detail about it. So when we do talk about it, either online or in person with the people around us, or even when we find out about it ourselves, we are oftentimes met with doubt, which can also be extremely damaging as a result. For me personally, maladaptive daydreaming actually interferes with, I can almost say, most areas of function for me. It interferes with chores, work, my sleep schedule, socializing, relationships, and so forth. The thing is that people around me don't generally get to see how I live and function, and the way I present myself and my living space to the world would easily fool a lot of people. But people forget that mental health can be an invisible parasite. It doesn't show itself often. And as a direct result, people believe that those who are high functioning while living with mental conditions have it better than those who are not high functioning while living with mental conditions. Let's talk a bit about imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is when people doubt their own skills, their talents, or their accomplishments. And oftentimes, people with imposter syndrome tend to compare their own work and their own accomplishments to professional work or accomplishments. Imposter syndrome is actually very common in the mental health world as well. It's extremely common for people with mental health conditions to see their own condition as being not as bad as those around them. And as a result, which is where the problem comes in, they don't seek help and they don't seek treatment. Regarding maladaptive daydreaming in itself, there are a few things that I want you to stop telling yourself right now. The first one, and I made notes of this, I don't have maladaptive daydreaming because I don't daydream most of my days away. You may spend a whole lot of time in your daydreams, or you may spend not as much time in your daydreams. That doesn't mean that your daydreams or your daydreaming habits don't interfere with your daily life. Secondly, I don't have maladaptive daydreaming because I don't have a parame, paracosm, or paras. You are not alone. Many other maladaptive daydreamers don't have any of these either, or they may only have a paracosm but no parame or no paras, or they don't even have a parame but they have paras and no paracosm. A lot of people have way different daydreams to what is usually seen online by a lot of maladaptive daydreamers, and that is to have their own paras, their own original characters, their own parames, and so forth. That doesn't invalidate you as a maladaptive daydreamer. Remember, we are all different people. Thirdly, I don't have maladaptive daydreaming because I enjoy my daydreams. You can enjoy your daydreams. It's normal to enjoy daydreaming. The problem comes in when it causes distress due to the interference of daily functions, such as work, sleep, relationships, social situations, chores, school, and so forth. Fourthly, I don't have maladaptive daydreaming because I can focus, do chores, work, and socialize without interruption of my daydreams. So this one may be tricky. When you look at the proposed diagnostic criteria for maladaptive daydreaming and you scroll way to the bottom, you will see that maladaptive daydreaming in its mildest forms still causes distress, but there are no obvious signs of interference in daily functions. You may have maladaptive daydreaming in a very mild form, or you may have immersive daydreaming. Either or, they're both valid. By the way, if you want to see the differences between maladaptive daydreaming and immersive daydreaming, check out this video. I posted it last week, and if you are confused about the differences between these two conditions, well, one isn't technically a condition, but you get what I'm saying, then check it out. Hopefully it will help you. Fifthly, I don't have maladaptive daydreaming because I don't want to find a cure for it. The very problem with maladaptive daydreaming is that it's enjoyable in itself. Just because you enjoy daydreaming doesn't mean that it's not maladaptive. Sixthly, I don't have maladaptive daydreaming because I don't pace or move around while daydreaming. Movement isn't a necessary criteria to have maladaptive daydreaming. The same with maladaptive daydreaming not necessarily being triggered by music. Again, we are all different. Overall, maladaptive daydreaming, just like any other mental health condition, isn't black and white on its own, and a lot of factors actually come into play. Maladaptive daydreamers all lead different lives. We are all different people. We come from different backgrounds. We live in different countries. We experience different daydreams. We experience different topics. We like different types of music, and so forth and so forth and so forth. We each view the world from our own unique perspective. It's impossible for maladaptive daydreaming to be the same for everyone. The biggest problem with feeling like we are faking our mental health conditions is that usually stops us from seeking help or from seeking professional treatment for it. As I've said in the beginning of the video, try and change the way you talk to yourself, whether verbally or in your mind. Instead of wondering whether you are faking your maladaptive daydreaming, wonder whether you do have it. That's a much more positive way to look at it. But anyway, that's it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope this video was informative as always. If you enjoy my videos, please feel free to leave a like or subscribe to see more maladaptive daydreaming or even mental health related videos. I'm looking to actually branch out a bit in the future, so that would be cool. But anyway, thanks for watching, and as always, thank you guys so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Take care of yourselves, make good choices. As always, love you guys. Goodbye.